Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Dakota. Today, Venu Holding Corporation just filed an 8K about a material definitive agreement, and I'm seeing a big step forward in their ambitious entertainment complex plans. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. Venu Holding is making a significant move to acquire land for a large entertainment project, but there are some key conditions that need to be met before this deal is truly done. This report, filed on May 13, 2026, talks about a deal that Venu Holding Corporation, through its subsidiary Sunset at Chattanooga LLC, struck on May 8, 2026. They are entering into a purchase and sale agreement to buy a roughly 15-acre piece of land in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The plan is to turn this property into a multi-seasonal amphitheater and entertainment complex. This is a pretty big project, and the company sees it as a major development for entertainment in that area. So, the price tag for this land is $20 million, but it is not a straightforward cash payment. The agreement outlines a few interesting ways this purchase price will be covered. We are talking about proceeds from something called development incentive funding, money from suite sales revenue, and payments under a ticket fee participation agreement that will be set up at closing. This last part means the seller will get a cut of ticket sales from events at the complex until they have received a certain agreed upon amount. This structure shares some of the financial risk and reward. Now here's where things get a little more complex. The actual closing of this land purchase, which is expected by the end of 2026, depends on several conditions being met. These conditions have to be satisfied within 6 months of the agreement, so by around November 2026, first. Venu Holding subsidiary needs to hammer out a development agreement with various government entities like the City of Chattanooga, Hamilton County, and the State of Tennessee, as well as potentially other private groups. This agreement needs to be on terms that Venu finds satisfactory. A really crucial part of this development agreement is securing what they call development incentive funding. This means they need to get a minimum amount of financial incentives from this deal. Think of it like tax breaks or grants that local governments might offer to encourage big projects. Without these incentives, the deal could fall apart. Another key condition is what they call suite sales revenue. Venu Holding needs to pre-sell a minimum number of rights to special suites, described as fire pit suites, in the planned amphitheater. These are likely high-end premium seating areas that they need to sell at terms that satisfy the company. This shows they are trying to get some revenue locked in before the project is even built, reducing their upfront financial risk. There is also a requirement for the seller to arrange for Hamilton County to agree to transfer another piece of land to Venu's subsidiary. This suggests that the original 15 acres might not be the whole picture, and they need additional land for the full complex, possibly for parking or other facilities. The conditions also specify certain terms that should be in the development agreement. This includes receiving a minimum amount of tax increment financing, or TIF is a way local governments can fund public improvements by using the increased property tax revenue that results from new development. Essentially, the future tax gains from this project would help fund it. They also mention a ticket participation fee, meaning Venu would have to pay a share of each ticket sold to government entities, and a commitment to develop a structured parking facility where Venu would pay a fee for each car parked there indefinitely. It is important to note that all these conditions must be met to the satisfaction of Venu Holding, or they have the right to waive them. This gives Venu a lot of control. If any of these major hurdles are not cleared, the deal might not go through. This is pretty standard for large real estate deals, but it means the actual acquisition is not guaranteed yet. The company is also required to pay an earnest payment, which is a deposit to show they are serious about the deal, and there are standard clauses about property taxes, damage to the property, and inspection rights. The full details of this agreement are available as an exhibit to this filing. This seems like a significant step for Venu Holding Corporation, moving forward with a potentially large-scale entertainment venue. The company's stock is Venu, and their market cap is around $229 million with about 94 employees reported. Recent headlines point to this deal, with some estimating the broader project cost much higher, potentially over $300 million, and mentioning efforts to sell fractional stakes in these premium suites, like fire pit suites, for around $20,000 each. Looking at the bigger picture, Venu Holding, which is in the consumer cyclical sector, specifically restaurants, is making a bold play. Building a large amphitheater and entertainment complex is a capital-intensive venture. The success of this deal hinges on securing those development incentives and successfully pre-selling those premium suites. If they can pull it off, it could significantly expand their business beyond just restaurants and tap into the live entertainment market. The conditions highlight the financial risks involved, and the company is relying heavily on government cooperation and upfront customer commitments. The risk I am watching is their ability to secure the necessary development incentives and pre-sell enough suites to satisfy the conditions. If those fall through, this major land deal could be off. What I am actually looking for is how they plan to finance the rest of this ambitious project beyond the initial land purchase and these conditional elements. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. For more detailed breakdowns, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and join our Discord community linked in the description.